You know, it's funny. Do that again. Yes.
Yes.
Maybe should I? Do you think I should do like those like cheerleading exercises with all the guests before they go live? Like, would that pump you up? Like, yeah. Um, do you have a saying that pumps you up? Because I think you said you work out, right? Do you ever like say like have a quiet moment with yourself while you get yourself in the zone?
It's usually with music. Honestly, it's usually something Whitney Houston, right?
Nice. You just listen to the music. That's hilarious. Well, okay. Speaking of listening, then, so my good friend, Dr. Torres, are you ready for the mic is listening?
Yes. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
let's do this.
The mic is listening.
The mic is listening.
The mic is listening.
The mic is
The
listening.
mic is listening.
The mic is listening.
listening.
The mic is 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 listening.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to the mic is listening. My name is Syya, and just want to kick off today with a somewhat serious topic, and it's just a little bit of a shout out for those that if you think that your life is never ending, congratulations, we all do. But as you get older, things like your joints and your body starts to ache, and this realization that like, holy crap, my body hurts, and before you know it, you're like, wow, I'm old, and before you know it, life moves on. So I'm saying this somewhat comically, but actually it's a very serious note. So please, 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 if you are and have the opportunity to look at your end of life paperwork. So meaning if you are married, make sure you have your living will and trust put in place, and I say living will and trust in place. Make sure you have something like a power of attorney in place, particularly either medical, especially medical, or financial. Just because you're married doesn't necessarily mean everything defaults to your spouse, especially if your insurance isn't in place for it, your Medicare, all that stuff. So I'm going through it now myself, and it is a bit of a challenge. So if anyone has any questions on that, there are tons of individuals that I'm sure I could refer you to that actually knows a little bit more about all that stuff, and they do it day in, day out. But please, 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 you guys, we're all alive and we're living life and we're loving it, but all good things come to an end, and make sure you've got your paperwork in order. And I am a hypocrite. I haven't done it myself yet, but now that I know the process, you sure as hell know I'm going to do it. So on that note, if you love your family, please get that put together so the rest of the world doesn't have to scramble to figure things out on your behalf. So on that note, someone that can actually probably further give me information and help me along with this, maybe because I don't know, he's a doctor himself and probably has some advisement on what he can offer and give. I am so stoked to welcome Mr. and Dr. VAL TORRES, with founder of Armada Business MD. Dr. TORRES, welcome.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm so excited to be here. Grateful and blessed to be here with Syya today. Oh my gosh. Excited. Could feel the energy.
Keep going.
Yes.
I need more flattery. No, Dr. Torres, it's so funny. You and I have actually, we never physically met, but we bonded over LinkedIn. Yet another thing. And I almost feel like I should just retell the mic is listening on LinkedIn, because I feel like I meet so many amazing professionals, but then I also get to know you as a person. And, what struck me about you is that, your purpose is you've developed this purpose over time, because I did tease you a little bit, because you are a doctor, you are an MD, but this is not what you necessarily do for a living specifically. You're not actually caring in the hospital specifically. So before we kind of jump ahead on that, can you explain real quickly, what is Armada Business MD?
So Armada Business MD is a business consulting / financial services company out of the Tampa Bay area. It is not medical at all, which surprises people, but it helps businesses simplify being a business, makes their lives easier. In a nutshell, that's what we do, and we do a really good job at it.
Oh, I love that because you know what's funny is like, and I am the guiltiest person. Like I talk about, business all the time. I'm the chair here, co-chair in Dallas for a business organization called Global Leaders Organization,
Okay.
and it's a community for entrepreneurs, right? And it's amazing to me to see these amazing business owners that are really shifting their mindset into entrepreneurship because owning a business is not the same as entrepreneurship. And owning a business, there's a whole can of ball, beeswax, whatever that saying is, where you just don't realize. Like for me, I'm still learning. My poor business partner, Erin, is like, girl, you got to get more business minded. She's like, you got to take the emotion out of your business decisions. And I'm like, son of a sea cook, you know? And how do you go about like, so, you know, your clients are coming to you, right? And then we were talking about this earlier. LinkedIn has been such a great resource for us to get our clients and get people to engage with us. But like, what are the biggest challenges you see that business owners and entrepreneurs are having with their businesses?
So with businesses, you only know what you know. You don't know what you don't know. And running a business, it takes so much know-how. It's like rocket science, but on steroids, because you have all these things going on. You gotta pay your bills, you gotta get clients, you gotta make that money, right? It's too much going on. And then there's like federal laws, state laws. So it's too much for one person. You gotta have a team, and teamwork makes the dreams work. That's how I do it, and that's what I tell all of my clients.
I love that because there's a saying that they say entrepreneurship is lonely. Leadership can be lonely at the top. So how do you really hone in that message of like guys and gals, like you don't have to be a lone wolf in this pursuit. Has it been difficult for you to convince folks that hey, no, we're the team that's going to help you get there? Or do people just intuitively get it? Your clients?
Well, I have a very different approach. My approach is, hey, welcome to the party. That is my approach, right? People, yeah, I mean, you say that with a smile. People don't know what they're missing out on, but when you have someone just simplifying your life, that is when things get interested and they start getting going.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Well, because life is worth living, right?
Of course, of course.
So okay, so I don't want to go down too much in like hammer. I want to really hone in for anyone that really wants to learn more about Dr. Torres and what he actually does with Armada business. We will talk and and let me learn to speak English. We will talk and revisit that again. But Dr. Torres, let's talk about you because if I were your parent and I'm Asian, okay, I don't know if you can tell, and I had a very Asian upbringing. If I took the time all those years, all that debt accumulation to become a certified doctor, physician, and then I say, "Hey, mom and dad, that was a great time. I'm going to switch gears and be a doctor for business." Was that well received by your parents? Because mine
Oh,
would be like, "What the hell's wrong with you?"
my parents, they flipped out, right? They were like, what the hell is wrong with you? Why are you doing this? Were we not good parents to you? Were we not nice to you? Right? That's how my parents were. They wanted me to go straight into primary care, preferably sports medicine, a nice, safe specialty where the money's good, like in Florida, but the schedule is really good for like families. So close to 9 to 5, but not quite. When I told them, hey, I'm leaving clinical medicine for good, they almost got a stroke.
I
Yes.
almost did on your parents' behalf because I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, how did I mean? Did you take him out to dinner one night? Or did you do it during Thanksgiving? How did you approach that? Tell me how you told him.
I kind of like dropped it like it's hot. Honestly, honestly, it was a Christmas, I believe, and I was just saying like, hey, I'm not going into the new year with all this stress and just being too busy to live life, and they just had to take it. Honestly, my life, my rules, right?
Oh, or in honor of today's little chat title is I said I like it like that.
Hmm. Hell yeah.
Okay. So okay, so you mentioned that you made your decision.
Yeah.
Did they fight you on it, or was it something like they just know you and they were concerned of like, hey, is this really what you want, or were they just like, you're crazy and like my family, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, so they're like, you're crazy.
Yeah.
You're never gonna have a retirement fund. You're never gonna retire. You're never gonna have friends because all your friends are in healthcare, right? But
Oh.
at the end of the day, they knew I was an overachiever, right? Every decision I make, I kind of think it out. I'm not exactly an instant gratification monkey. I kind of think it through. And I saw entrepreneurship as, the way to go where I can have the cake and eat it too. Have
Mm.
the money and the time to spend it. And that's what life is about, right? It is.
I'm telling you, like I said, I'm very sensitive to that topic. There is a value to that FOMO mentality, but at the same time, it's FOMO with the understanding that you're not on the edge of a cliff.
Oh,
You
of
know
course.
what I mean? Like you can go to the cliff, but maybe in a safety, distance, right? But you're still experiencing it. Not going to change up, the experience drastically. Okay, because your energy is like, it's so funny because you do have that bit of a calm energy that I think you would need in clinical practice, right?
Yes.
Because especially if you're treating patients and whatnot. But at the same time, just talking to you, I can feel your edginess. So you mentioned to me, and that's why we ended up titling it. I like it. I said I like it like that. It's a Cardi B song, and obviously for rights, I'm not playing it. But and I couldn't anyway. Very not many naughty words in Cardi B music. But why Cardi B? Because when I asked you, it was like the first thing that popped up. So what is it about Cardi B that you like, that you gravitate towards her music?
So a couple things. Cardi B is authentic, right? She is unapologetically authentic. She does not say sorry for who she is, and she's great like that. Her absence is known and her presence is felt. That's what I like about her. And well, she has heritage. Her family comes from where I'm from, which is Trinidad and Tobago. So we kind of get along well in that sense.
I did not know that. I didn't. I was wondering where she came from. Oh, I did not know it was Trinidad and Tobago. So talk to me about Trinidad and Tobago then, because your accent is all. I mean, I love it anyway. But what's it like being home? Because I've never been. And don't tell me an island beauty. We know this, okay? Outside of that, um,
And it's a beautiful island. It's a twin island republic. So two islands, one country. Amazing people, amazing food. There's a lot of multiculturalism. So everybody looks like they're from someplace else. The
yeah.
closest the best way I can explain it would be if you've ever been in New York City, right? Everybody is from someplace else. Everybody is welcoming if you're nice to them, right? They're welcoming. And it's the place to be, right? I was born where Americans vacation.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, right, in a sense. And we've had a lot of really cool people come out of Trinidad. Cardi B, even though she was born in New York, she has heritage from Trinidad. One of the biggest people from Trinidad, Nicki Minaj, right?
Oh,
She's
I didn't
from
know.
she's from there. Everybody knows her, everybody loves her. You see that trend, that unapologetic authenticity, right? And that energy. Yeah, I'm from the Caribbean and I am proud of it.
I
Mm,
love it. I'm jealous. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was born in the wonderful, exotic locale of Orlando, Florida, which is also multicultural, I guess, if you want to call it that.
close enough, close enough. And we can't all be from Miami, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I tease it. I only say I was born in Orlando because I was, but we moved very quickly out of there. But I've always been a Disney baby, so I guess the way I can relate with you is the fact that I lived in places where people vacation too, but
Oh,
it's Disneyland and not a gorgeous, beautiful island in the middle of the Caribbean.
I know. Not everybody's that lucky, but it is what it is, right?
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. Okay, so let's talk about this because I'm always so fascinated. So what was one thing that you loved? I mean, if you ever, and I understand you said you've gotten away from clinical practice, but what is one thing, if there is a listener that is, wanting to get into the field or in the field to keep them encouraged, what was one thing that you miss or you loved about clinical practice?
Clinical practice. I love helping people, right? I really do love helping people. I love when I'm with a patient and they're sick and I can do something and put a smile on their face. I just love it, right? A lot of the patients that I work with were older patients in the Miami area. A lot of them didn't speak English very well. And it just felt good when I connected with them and I was there saying, hey, you're okay. It's okay. We're gonna get through this. And that smile is priceless. When it can make when it can have an effect on somebody else's life, it's priceless.
Oh, I love that. So yeah, I get it. It feels like to me you'd have to have a um it's a labor of love and passion, really, right? Because it's not a thankful job. It's not it's not an easy one, right? I mean, so the negative thing then, what was that big thing that you said, yeah, not for me anymore?
I don't know, two things. So much death, right?
Mm,
People just pass away. They might be healthy and happy and smiling today, and tomorrow they're not there anymore. That
mm.
was really hard. And also the work hours. It's not a 9 to 5, right?
Mm.
You're always on call. You're always working. It's stressful. You're away from your family. You don't have a life. Even if you're making that money, you don't have the time to spend it. So what's the point, right?
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely. So that is that's a con, right? And this is a con for entrepreneurship in general too, right? Because your business is a labor of love. Your business is your baby, right? Your patient, if you will. So if you want to apply it in that way, it is great when you can help a struggling business. And this is why Armada Business is like such a great uh, you know, it's not rocket science what you're doing, but I love the way you're positioning it because it's like you are a doctor for business, right? And so if you can extrapolate that ability and that gratitude of being able to help someone, and when you have that ability to work those hours, but you still have the ability to determine your work hours. So, would you say you're a 24/7 entrepreneur then when helping with their clients, or do you actually put constraints on, no, this is my time of working and this is my personal time?
Oh my gosh, I am so bad at having that work-life balance,
Isn't
right?
it?
It's so hard, right? Once my phone is on and the battery's not dead, I'm working, right? I take calls any time of the day and night. But at the same time, life is hard. You got to choose your heart. Either you work for somebody else and make their dreams come true, or you work hard for yourself and make your dreams come true. That's how I see it. It ain't coming easy. That's how life is.
Yeah, no, for sure. What's funny is how many people consciously or subconsciously, depending on your culture and the way you're brought up, how giving they are to others, and they themselves they lack upon, right? Who was it that we're talking to? I know there's like a lot of folks that you and I know mutually where they talk about your self conversations, the conversations in your own head, right? Of that positivity. And it's hard. Like, would you say you speak to yourself well?
I try my best. I really do. Like, I'm not perfect. I'm a human like everybody else, but sometimes it's so hard, right? Fortunately, I'm one of those people. I live by my calendar. So I put in time. Hey, 10 minutes, go to the gym, do this, do that for my health. That's what works. I need that reminder. I need that kick in the butt
Mm.
to, so I don't pour from an empty cup.
Yeah. Okay. I need to really, I do live by the calendar as well, but I'm not really good about keeping it updated. Like I'll do good for a week and then my attention, goes off elsewhere. And next thing I know, like you saw me earlier, I was like, oh yeah, forgot I actually created a link for this. So yeah, I mean, so wait, how long were you sitting there? And I apologize. You were sitting there for like 10 minutes waiting for me. And I'm like texting going, hey man, I'm in the room. And you're like, what room? What a joke. But yes.
It happens. It happens. We're all human, right? It happens.
I know. So, okay, where you're in Tampa, right?
Yeah, I'm in the Tampa Bay area.
Okay. What is your favorite thing to do in Tampa?
Oh my God. The gym, the beaches, right?
That's very Florida to say that.
It's very Florida. Tampa is like that city that is more English speaking, right? Versus like Orlando and Miami. But I love it. I love it. It's my vibe. It's like a small island, but just bigger.
All right. Okay. And have you ever been to the Everglades?
Oh yeah, I have. Everglades National Park, right? That place is hot as hell. Oh my gosh, right? I went on an airboat ride, saw gators and stuff. Cool, right? Not really my thing. I'm more of a music and like food kind of person, but it's nice to meet the locals around there, right?
Well, you want to hear a funny story? Is growing up, so I'm the baby of 4,
Mhm.
and my sisters are a little bit older than me, and they used to tell me that I was adopted, as siblings would do,
Mhm.
and they told me not only was I adopted, but they found me in the Florida Everglades, and so I grew up, and I remember being in kindergarten telling my teacher this, and she's like, "Oh, really? Oh, they found you in the Everglades. Who told you that?" I remember the conversation because the look on her face was like amused,
Yeah.
right? And then I guess she had when my mom, I think it was my sister actually, my oldest sister came to pick me up, and she goes, "Oh, hey, just want to give you a heads up. You may want to talk to your parents. Your other siblings are saying this to her." And my sister was like, mind you, my oldest sister was 17 years older than me, so she was in her 20s. So, but it was just funny because my sister comes home and she's just laughing and talking to my other 2 sisters, and she's like, "What have you been telling Syya?" And they're like, "What are you talking about?" And apparently they forgot they ever told me this. And so ever since then, I've always loved, alligators because I thought I was like, one of them.
Alligators do taste really good, by the way. Just heads up.
Are they really? I've had alligator tail fried from New Orleans, but I can't get over the fact that, those are my siblings apparently. I can't eat them.
Oh my gosh, it's like chicken but better. I love it.
I can't be eating my peeps, man. Dr. Torres, come on. So Tampa Bay though. So what's the business community out there like?
So Tampa Bay, it's about maybe 30% Hispanic, right? It's rapidly changing. So demographics wise, like everybody wants to move here. Like, please stop moving here. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So apparently everyone from New York is moving to the Tampa Bay area, right? They're moving south. Orlando people are moving to the Tampa Bay area. Miami people are moving here because it's cheaper than living in Miami. You've heard about Miami prices, crazy. Tampa it's where it's at, right? And yes, there's Tampa, the city, but there's also Clearwater, St. Pete, right? Sarasota, hence the Tampa Bay area. Lots to do, amazing. Business is booming right now. The entertainment, hospitality, there's a lot of Hispanic and Latin businesses. So the food is great, the nightlife is great, the people are just jaw-dropping. I love to people watch. So rather than drive 5 hours to Miami, I can just go to downtown Tampa or Ybor City. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh my gosh.
So, okay, and I forgot to mention because you are heavily involved with the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce down there, right? Okay, so let's talk about that because I love diversity in business. But let's be honest, at least nationally speaking, there's not a lot of minorities in entrepreneurship and small business ownership. So, how are you guys addressing it down there? Because you guys have a higher, percentage of the Latin community. Are you seeing the same challenges of encouraging folks to do their own business?
Oh, of course, of course. In the Hispanic community, the biggest problem is access to resources. Traditionally, Hispanics weren't really open to the idea of starting their own business, but it's more of a entrepreneurship out of necessity. That's kind of how it is, right? A lot of inequities, inequalities. I'm not the kind of person to complain and to beg people for business, to beg people for jobs. I just build my own table and I help who I can. So when it comes to access to resources, I help Hispanics. I leverage my professional networks to help them. A lot of them, they don't know the basics of running a business. Like you need an accountant, you need a CPA, right? There's laws out there. So many Hispanics, they haven't even registered their businesses with Sunbiz, right?
Mm.
Things like that. I try to like help people, give them the know-how, but it's getting better. It is.
Oh, I love that. I'm glad to hear that because it is so needed. Like here in Dallas, like there's a huge business community here, tons of entrepreneurs, amazing folks that are like invested into really helping to grow the community. And even despite all this like, desire and support, there's still just not enough. You know what I mean? And that's crazy to me. It's like you can will it so, but there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that just need to happen to really make it happen. So, oh my gosh, Dr. Torres, I love you so much. And I know we can keep talking on, and I'm trying to be respectful for our time. And I know I was late, so that was my bad on that. But for those that want to get a hold of you, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
So LinkedIn is where I'm at. LinkedIn is my jam.
Okay, now, so Dr. Val Torres, we can always type that in. But I also noticed your link says VTM DMBA. So help me understand what's that mean?
So Val Torres, MD, MBA.
Oh, that's right. You got your MBA as well. Let's talk about that. Underachiever. No, seriously, you got your MBA as well, underachiever. Did that calm your parents a little bit down that you got your MBA as well?
Yeah, they kind of calmed down a bit. They were like, maybe he knows what he's doing, right? Maybe he's not a lost cause, right? But they were happy. They were extremely happy. I got my MD and my MBA with 0 student loan debt, right?
How did you do that?
So I got a full ride scholarship. I had to maintain like a 3.8, 3.9 GPA, right? Busted my butt in med school and grad school, but you know what? No student loan debt, and it feels amazing. I love it.
You are a badass, dude. It's such a pleasure that I'm so glad that we've met. I am so excited for you. So in Tampa Bay, everyone, please hit up Dr. Torres, Armada Business MD. Any parting final words, my friend, before I have to do some closing remarks?
No, I'm just excited to be here. I'm grateful. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you. And you know what? We don't have a chapter of Global Leaders Organization. You should check it out. The community is so cool. And it actually might be within the your target market because there's a lot of entrepreneurs in that group. We'll talk more about it. But just so I can toot my own horn on that, let me explain. Global Leaders Organization. Aaron is my business partner and I were the Dallas chairs. And as part of the chairs of GLOW, we are committed to commerce, capital, community, content. How can we help you help each other? The big thing on this, guys, is the fact that GLOW has a community of folks and investors that are looking to give advisement and or those are looking for access to capital. So that is a huge, huge thing that I know Dr. Torres and I were talking about is getting access to really great resources. GLOW does provide that for you. And of course, shout out to Innovation Media Enterprises. That is my own business. I love to say everyone has a story to tell. Do it with a podcast or other creative medium. So if you have questions, if you want to understand how you can leverage existing content in different platforms on social media, talk to us. We can consult with you. We can strategize. We can do the production for you, and we can help you market whatever creative, output that you put out there. So on that note, our good friend, Dr. Val Torres, thank you so much for joining us on The Mic is Listening.
I'm excited.
See you guys.